Hey guys, Boom Business here, teaching and showing you methods to make more money online. And in today's video, we are going to see how you can make money off games on the iOS and Android store. And before we move on, I put a lot of time and effort into these videos, so before we move on and explain how you can make money off Android and iOS games, I would appreciate if you smash the like button and hit the subscribe button, which makes and helps the channel grow. And we are planning to hit 1,000 subscribers by the end of 2021. If you want to be a part of that, hit that subscribe button down below. So in today's video, we're going to talk about the side hustle of making games on the iOS and Android. Basically putting games on the App Store and on the Play Store by making games on platforms such as Unity, Godot, and other game engines that allow programming or other sorts of IDEs that allow you to make games like this. We've all seen mobile games from the ads we've seen, from those crazy looking ones where it just doesn't make sense how the game works or anything, you know, it gets you to click on it and maybe even see and download it. Anyway, you probably look at these adverts and exclaim to yourself, how on earth can these games, which look more of a paint.net drawing than a game, how are these games making money consistently for their programmers or developers? But believe it or not, the way these companies make money is off those types of ads, and by getting you to download that game, whether you are just playing it for 1 minute or 10 days, they make money no matter how much you spend on the game. Now, that might scare you, or you already know this before, but they make money off ads, in-game purchases and sponsorships. Don't worry about this, we'll go through each way of making money in these games individually, so stay tuned till the end of the video to find out those 3 methods. So when you make your game, you really have to prioritize 1 or 2 things. First would be, would people come back to it? Is there an addictive factor? Second of all would be if it's even profitable in the first place, because no one's going to play a game where there's no enjoyment to it, there's no oomph to it. So we're gonna break these games down. Games can offer in-game purchases throughout the player's playthrough, meaning they can offer the player no ads for $1 or $2. They can offer boosts, in-game boosts, where maybe you boost a player's currency by 2, maybe allow a multiplier to get in play, or a character, skin, design, model, or something similar to that to make the player's game time, or the time he's playing the game, more enjoyable. Now, these purchases, if the more you put, the more there's a chance of someone buying some. So what I'd recommend is, if you are planning to make a game, put as much as you can and put a good amount of quality in-game purchases. Don't just, whatever chance you get, fling up in-game purchase, which for 50p you can, or 50 cents, get maybe an additional step or an additional life or something. That's not what people want. They would probably want something like unlimited lives. Like, for example, that's where you get in Score a Hero, a football game where you just draw where the ball goes and they kick it, and also it's quite a fun game. I've played it and I haven't spent money on it, but I guarantee you I've probably gained that company some amount of money just by me playing it and the ads. Now, when ads come into play, ads generate you money no matter what player it is. A player will always experience 1 or 2 ads through their playthrough, and depending on if they click and download the game, or generally just look at the ad, you'll get paid a certain amount for that. So make sure you make your game have maybe 1 or 2 ads every minute or 2 or 5, and ensure that there's maybe one sneaky ad where the X is hidden or something, where they click it and give you a lot of money as well. Or just make a reward system, which a lot of games have, where if you die, you can watch an advert to gain a life back, which is something I would recommend. And I guarantee you'd have a good amount of money from ads generated by that method. Before we can even assume you put in-game purchases and ads into your game, we need to figure out how you can make this game happen. Most game engines require a lot of learning, a good learning curve. Sadly, a learning curve is a learning curve which is shaped like a little weird rocket ship, or the learning curve is up and down. You learn, there's a slight plateau, and then you learn a lot, and then you stop learning, and then you've mastered this skill. So you aim to get on top of that bell. It's all individually how you learn, how fast you learn, how much time you put in. But some methods I recommend with learning coding is a platform called Udemy. You could buy a course, a C# course I recommend, not a game development course, or a bit of both. Buy one and the other. I wouldn't recommend getting it at full price. There's always sales on that website for courses that cost £20 or 20 whatever. It would be $20, and these courses would teach you everything about Unity themselves, or whatever engine you're trying to learn. Game engines should be similar, shouldn't be that far different. So if you learn one and then you want to move to another one, same the same aspects would be taught, so you shouldn't worry about what exactly you want to do, but just a rough idea would be nice. Don't expect to make a game straight away, because I'd make a couple of practice games before you make a big project, which does take a lot of time, and maybe you don't even finish it and all that. You need to have a good idea in mind and to execute. Two common types of games are a short and squeeze profit one and a long and delayed profit one, meaning that a short and squeeze profit one would be a game that's quite trendy, that is quite popular, but would have just short profit in the long term, meaning that it would just all be bunched up in a month or two, where your biggest profit days, weeks would be, because that's where most people would play, and you wouldn't come back to it because it would just be an out-of-date game. And a long and delayed profit one would mean that it's a game that's planning to, over the course, grow and gain more profit as each day passes. For example, maybe like a game like Angry Birds, even though that's really an outdated example, it brings the same type of idea where the game grows and builds and makes more profit over time. Some examples, as you've probably seen, is that baby one where you're on like you're a baby and you're on a slide and you can whack yourself off and land. That's probably a game where you've probably made thousands or even millions. I don't really know exactly how much you can make, but I haven't seen many statistics, but one statistic that I do go by, over 4,000 made by one game. So meaning that over a course of months, a game can make 4,000, which is quite realistic. Also, for you to make a game, you need to have an Apple license for the iOS store, but not for a place. No, I think a Play Store one for the Android would require $25 for a license to put games on the platform, so that isn't as bad. And these games can generate you more than that, so it's generally just an investment, I would say, and you shouldn't see it as a thing to be put off by, but something to want. And the last point I want to make before we end the video is this is really good practice for a software job, a job in maybe game design, something where you make a software with coding, because making a game does require a lot of aspects, from modeling, scripting, storyline and all that, and it requires you to be more of a multiple talent guy where you can put everything into one piece and make it a product which companies would like. So making games really does help you build up that portfolio, and if later on everything else fails with whatever job you have, maybe an accountant or maybe you're going to art or something, and that fails, you could easily go to a career switch up and go to maybe a game design company, maybe bring just a whole type of new career with you. So that's why I would recommend this as a side hustle, because it does have a lot of safe nets to it, a lot of fun developer. Maybe you can meet a lot of friends as well with like developer discords as well, because there's a lot of people that do this for fun and are really supportive about it and make sure you enjoy it and make even a bit of money off it. So that is all I wanted to say, and that does end the video there. So if you did enjoy this video and learn something off it and maybe inspired you to start making games online for people buy maybe or just enjoy, make sure you do subscribe, and if you are interested, check the links in the description I provide to ways I recommend to make money online, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.